Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It is very nice to have you here today. I have something on the table that is, for those of you that are a little more budget-minded, this fantastic piece of cutlery here is the Sencut Phantara. And I love this knife. It is big. It is well made. That's what you get from Sencut, which is Civivi, which is we, right? They know what they're doing. My wife got this for me a few months ago, and it has spent a fair amount of time in the pocket, and I thought I'd share it with you today. These are available, and I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. I get nothing from that. I just know that people like to be able to find the knives they're looking at, so there's that. What do you get? Well, as I said, it's a big knife. We'll talk about that in a minute. You get G10 scales, steel liners, a 9CR18 MOV blade. It's a mouthful, always has been. Nothing to write home about, but Sencut does a particularly good job with it. It holds an edge beautifully well. By way of example, look at the bevel on that. Right? Just even and beautiful. Just really well done. You get a very nice large blade. And you see these dark spots? Right? That is because the steel liners on this thing are skeletonized within an inch of their lives. I mean, they really went to town on the inside of this knife to keep the weight down, and that is very cool. Traditional Civivi Sencut stamped steel clip, nothing fancy. I do want to point out that while you can, right, the liners are not inset, but they are crowned, so the only sharp edge on this knife is right where you want it, which is just a really nice feature. The hole here is also milled and crowned beautifully. There's a little bit of jimping on the liner lock liner, so you can get a hold of it very comfortably. Action's very good. It's just a great knife. Let's do the specs. All right, what do you get for your $43? Well, you get 1, 2, 3, and almost 3/4 of cutting on 3 3/4 of that 9CR18 MOV. Grip area from behind the flipper tab, you're looking at 3.8 inches, which for my hand means I come just right to the end. But man, is this thing comfortable. One of the real standout features of the Phantara here is how lean it is. I mean, this thing it's thicker than the bug out, right? But not much. And considering the size of this knife, that's saying something. It makes it a very, very good carry with this deep carry clip. It's just in the pocket, but it's not obtrusive. It's really nicely done. Knife overall, from tip to tail, we are looking at 8 and almost 3/4 inches. It is, as I said, a full-size knife. Closed length, coming in at just a hair over 5 inches, 5.1, right there. Where you are going to notice this thing is in the pocket profile. It does have a flipper, as I said, so if we take that into account, we're at 1 3/4 inches. Now, I mean, that's fairly large, but by way of example, it's larger even than a full-size Adamas. I know, the designer says Adamas, and I'm not going to do that. Anyway, but these knives are very similar in size. They are. This one, of course, is very expensive. This one is not. And look at the dimensional differences. Now, I know, of course, that the Adamas here is supposed to be a hard-use knife. It's a big beast, all that stuff, right? But come on, look at that. That's just cool. This thing is so neat. I dig it. Let's do some size comparisons while I've got it out here on the table. Since we started with the Adamas, let's start with the mini Adamas. As you can see, the Phantara is considerably larger. And for those of you that haven't had one of these, you've most likely had one of these. Here it is against the bug out, and as you can see, the Phantara just dominates it when it comes to size. It occurs to me that you may not be that familiar with either one of these, which means you may know these. This is the full-size Rat 1. This one's been modified just a bit. And as you can see, the Phantara is just a little bit longer than a full-size Rat 1, which means it's going to be way bigger than the little Rat 2. Yep, I like this thing. It's neat. Let's weigh it, shall we? With all that milling, it's still got a little heft to it. It is a reasonably thick slide. I mean, It's not enormously thick, but you know, it's noticeably thicker than the blade on a bug out, and it is about the same thickness as the blade on the rat. So let's go ahead and weigh that. Can you see that? Yes, you can. There it is. 5.29 ounces. I mean, yeah, that's hefty. But that's what you get when you've got steel liners, no titanium, and all that stuff. Imagine if it wasn't milled. It doesn't feel that heavy, and part of that is how lean the design is. It's just a really comfortable in-the-hand knife. Wait, was that not zeroed? Let's try that again. Yeah, 5.29. Okay. Let's see. What else do you need to know? Not much. This is a great knife. It's nothing fancy. It's exceptionally comfortable in the pocket. It is a big knife for those of you that like it. This leaf-shaped blade really lends itself to all of your daily tasks, and it works fairly well in the kitchen too, which I have done just for giggles. I like 9CR18 MOV as a budget steel because it is really rust and stain resistant, and when done right, by the way, this is on bearings in there. When done right, as Sencut does, it will hold an edge exceptionally well. And of course, there are a number of ways that steel holds an edge. One of them is edge bevel shape and design. The other, of course, is heat treat, which there's always some variation there. And then finally, there's the actual density making of the steel as well. All of those things working together in a super steel make for a knife that'll hold an edge through thick and thin. But when you get down to the budget stuff, if they save money on the heat treat, or if they save money on by just grinding the edge into some shape, it will not hold an edge as well as it could. This, on the other hand, does. I like this shape. It is very, very comfortable. Very thin, but because of how tall it is, it's just hand-filling. Yeah, this is a good one, gang. Anyway, this is the Sencut Phantara. Phantara? Phantara. You make up your own minds. A gift from my wife, and available now. A fantastic beast mode budget knife, and it makes me very happy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Phantara. I know I enjoy owning it. If you have any questions about this or, you know, any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments below. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and remember, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.